For us, I can't say that I've been explicitly directed to, quote, blunt or actively stop. On the other hand, it's very clear, generate knowledge and insight, help us understand this so we can generate better policy. That clearly, that direction has been very explicit in fairness.
But I think, again, how you may agree or disagree, collecting intelligence, then acting on it in a coordinated fashion are two different things.
Yes, sir. I'd also argue what's our role as intelligence professionals and all this.
Let me just, and I've got very few moments remaining. We've talked a lot about China, CFIUS, their involvement in trying to buy companies in the United States. What I think has to be pointed out, too, is they are undertaking a significant national investment in artificial intelligence and quantum computing that is dwarfing anything that the administration is proposing or suggesting. If artificial intelligence has even half of the benefits that its promoters claim, it is going to be extraordinarily disruptive. Quantum computing has a capacity to undercut cryptology as we know it, and the experts can correct me if I'm wrong. Some of the mechanisms that quantum computing can generate could, based on infinite measurements of gravity, detect devices underground and under the water, which for anybody who's a submariner, you've got to be wondering. So where is our national Manhattan program for AI and quantum computing that will match the Chinese? Bert, the coach, you seem to be anxious to answer that, and I'll let you do that.
Well, I think there are some things that we will talk about in classified setting here. We're treading a very narrow line here relative to discussing this in an open meeting.
I don't want to tread that line, but we do have to recognize that, again, the Chinese activity to appropriate our intellectual property is obvious. They're generating their own intellectual property at a rate that could be disruptive, and we are not matching them. Again, this Manhattan analogy might be a little bit out of date, but when we saw the potential effects of a scientific development back in the 40s, we spared no expense so that we would get it first before our opponents. The Chinese seem to be making that type of commitment very publicly. Billions of dollars that they've said publicly. They have a plan and they're working a plan.
And we provide that information to the extent that we can collect that information, but just like the Manhattan Project, we don't openly share what steps that we're taking to address it.
I respect it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Senator Reid, and I do hope you'll come back to the closed session if you can this afternoon. I think that you'll get some fidelity in that closed session. I want to turn to we're about to wrap up. Everybody can look up. There are no more questions. So you don't have to lose eye contact with us, hoping you're not the guy that they're going to ask to answer. You can tell who the newbies are. They've stayed focused on the members the entire time, and the ones that have been here before have been like this. I want to turn to the Vice Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and we look forward to seeing you all this afternoon. Robert, we hope to get some overhead questions to you this afternoon. Echoing what we've all said, appreciate your service. But I think we're hearing again a lot of commonality as we think about cyber misinformation, disinformation. It really is asymmetrical. And one of the things that has struck me is that if you do a rough calculation and add up the costs to Russia in terms of their intervention in America, elections, the Dutch elections where they hand counted all the ballots, the French elections where Facebook acknowledged taking down 30,000 sites. You add that all together, it's less than the cost of one new F-35 airplane. Pretty good bang for the buck. I remember a year or so ago at Langley looking at some of our fighter technology, stealth technology, and the colonel showing them around bemoaning the fact that the Chinese had gotten this again on the cheap by stealing a lot of the intellectual property that underlies that technology. And echoing what